Okay, so for this one, I do want to show both ways again, just so you are just see it. All right, so here for our LCD, since 7, 5, and 2 are prime numbers, if you just do the 7 times 5 times 2, it gives you your LCD in this case, which is 70. So our LCD is 70. All right, so I just, either way, whichever way you did it's fine. But I'm going to find a common denominator of 70 first, just for the practice. So I would multiply the first fraction by 10 over 10. And as you'll see in your course pack, if you're using that, I did put this example in there twice. All right, so if I multiply the first fraction by 10 over 10, I get negative 20 over 70. All right, if I multiply the second fraction to get 70, I need to multiply this by 14 over 14. Right, so that gives me 10, 20, 30, 42 over 70, and that's negative 42y over 70. And then minus, and then the 1/2 to get a denominator of 70, we multiply that by 35 over 35. So that's minus 35 over 70. So again, this is the step that I'm saying that it's okay for you to skip. And so when you multiply both sides of the equation now by 70, that's to clear the fraction. Regardless of whether you find the common denominator and then clear the fraction, or if you just multiply by 70 on both sides first, it's going to give you the same result, right? So I'm distributing for this first fraction here, that's going to reduce, right? So we get negative 20. And then we have to distribute the 70, remember, to this first fraction into the second one, right? So that gives you 70 times the negative 42y over 70 minus 70 times the 35 over 70, right? But essentially it's reducing the fraction. So you get negative 20 equals negative 42y minus the 35. That is if you find a common denominator first. All right, now I'm going to stop there and restart the process. Okay, because remember this negative 20 equal to negative 42y minus 35. We're going to get that regardless. So I'm going to restart the process, but I'm going to do it without finding this common denominator of 70. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to multiply both sides by the 70 in the beginning. Okay, so restart. All right, so pretend as if we're beginning from scratch. We're looking at the 7, we're looking at the 5, we're looking at the 2. Our LCD is 70. So I'm going to multiply the right side of the equation by 70. I'm going to multiply the left side of the equation by 70. All right. Remember that you have to distribute the 70 across addition or subtraction. Well, that's not real clear. Let's redo that arrow. That goes right here. There we go. All right, so it's like saying 70 multiplied to -2/7 equals 70 multiplied to -3y/5 minus 70 multiplied to 1/2. All right, questions on that? Okay, so now at this point, again, you can multiply the 70 times 2 and then divide by 7. But I recommend you do 70 divided by 7. That gives you 10. And then multiply by the -2. So that gives you -20. All right, then 70 divided by the 5. Right, that's going to give you the 14 multiplied by the -3y. So that gives you the -42y minus, and then 70 divided by 2 gives you 35 times the 1. So it gives you 35. All right, so you can see that's what we had here, right? The -20 equals -42y minus 35. And here we go. -20 equals -42y minus 35. So it doesn't matter if you actually find the common denominator and the equivalent fractions and then clear the fraction, or just immediately multiply both sides by 70. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to draw a line through my equal sign. And I'm going to eliminate the -35. Therefore, I'm going to add 35 to the right. And I'm going to add 35 to the left. All right, so that's going to give me, I'm going to write that off to the side. That is going to give me 15 equals -42y. All right, divide both sides by -42. All right, so that gives me -15/42 equals 1y. Right, we want to simplify if we can, and it looks like that we can. So divide 15 by 3 and 42 by 3. So that gives us y is equal to -5 over and then 14. All right, questions on that?
I got the same exact answer, but instead of adding the 35, I added 20 to each side.
All right, so it sounds like that is, let me show you what you get if you add 20 to each side, okay? If you have -20 equals -42y minus 35, okay? If I add 20 to each side, you get 0 equals -42y minus 15. Which I'm not sure if that's what you have written on your paper, but that is what you get if you add 20 to each side. So it's kind of
So
like,
I basically canceled out the 0. That's what I did.
right, which you can't. That's just like
Okay.
miracle math, I guess you can call it. Okay. Yeah, so just be careful because oftentimes that's what leads to incorrect signs as well.